know why it's taking me so long to start to film this video, because I had my son a month ago, and I'm just now filming it. But today I am sharing my labor and delivery story on April 5th. No, not April 5th. On April 4th at like 7 o'clock in the morning, we went to the hospital for an induction. And then at 6 o'clock in the evening, that evening, they started the Pitocin, which is a chemical that they use to induce the labor. And, you know, with little progress, every time they came and checked to see how dilated I was and how effaced I was, they had said, oh, you're still 2 centimeters dilated, or you're 3 centimeters dilated. And then at 6 o'clock in the morning on April 5th, my water broke. And then they started the epidural, like 5-10 minutes after, because the contractions were really, really intense. I wanted to punch a wall. That's how bad they were. And then again, they kept upping the Pitocin. They kept coming in to check me. Okay, backtrack here. At 6 o'clock in the morning, when the doctor came in, the actual doctor, or one of the actual doctors who delivered my baby, when they came in and checked me, I was 5 centimeters dilated. When prior, somebody else checked me and they said I was only 3 centimeters dilated. Like 2 minutes before the doctor came in, they said I was 3 centimeters dilated. So, fast forward again. Bless you, honey! Fast forward again to about 1, they checked and they said that I was still only 3 centimeters, or not 3, but 5 centimeters dilated. And that is about 90% effaced. And then again, the doctor, when the doctor came in after one of the nurses checked me, the doctor said that I was 100% effaced and 10 centimeters dilating, and told me to start pushing at 2:30 on April 5th. So I pushed for about 3.5 hours. I pushed from 2:30 until about 5:40, almost, no, 5:50 to about 6 when the other doctor got there. The other doctor got there. He checked the position of the baby. You know, I was having a little progress with him moving down. He did not want to move down the birth canal at all. And he was too high up. And he wasn't in the right position. So, 6 o'clock comes. He comes, he checks, and he says it's too risky to deliver my baby vaginally. So they rushed me to the OR because my water had broken earlier in that morning. And they like to have the baby delivered within 24 hours of the water breaking. So I had a C-section. I did not want to have a C-section. You know, don't know why. I just didn't. So we get to the OR. Well, I get to the OR and all of the nurses that took me there and everything like that. And only my husband was allowed to be in the OR with me. My mom was not allowed to be in the OR with me, which really, really sucked because I wanted my mom to be there with me when I had my baby. I don't know why I keep staring off. But I wanted my mom to be in the room with me when I had my baby, and she wasn't allowed to be in there. Only one person's allowed to be in there when you're having a C-section. And at 6:11, he was delivered. The anesthesiologist, he gave me an antibiotic shot. I'm allergic to penicillin, so I couldn't have penicillin, so they had to give me something else that I don't know the name of. And then another shot, and then something into like an injection, probably more pain medication or the anesthesia or whatever, into my epidural thingamajiggy. And they numbed the area. It was completely numb. The anesthesiologist, he said, you're going to feel tugging and pulling, and that's literally all I felt. And after my son was delivered, I got to see him for like 2 seconds. They showed him to me. They lowered the sheet a little bit to where I could see him, because you don't see any of that. And then, like, as they were pulling him out, that's when my husband walked in. That's when my husband actually got there, into the OR room, because he had to put on, the whole cap and all of that crap. Well, not crap, but all of that stuff, before he could go in there. And at 6:11, he was delivered. He weighed 8 pounds 9 ounces and 19 and a quarter inches, I believe. I believe that's what it was. And after that, after they got him all like dried off and everything like that, well, my husband had cut the umbilical cord because he wanted to. They asked him if he wanted to, and he said yes, so he did. And gosh, my nose itches. And after he cut the umbilical cord, the nurse had told me that she was going to take him and my son to the recovery room for skin to skin. She did let me kiss him on the cheek, because, after you have a C-section, you're not allowed to hold your baby while they're sewing you up or anything, so you don't get that first hour of skin to skin like you're supposed to. Which, at least I got to kiss him on the cheek, and that made me feel better. And then I remember throwing up on myself, as they were cleaning or doing everything that they were doing down there, like sewing me up or gluing me up or whatever that they did. I threw up all over myself. The anesthesiologist gave me something for nausea. It was a shot in shoulder area, and he gave me another shot for something else. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. And then they took me to the recovery room, and I got to see my son and my husband. The nurses came, and they put they called it a binder, which was basically just a girdle or really a corset is how I would describe it. It was comfortable, kind of, and they had these things squeezing my legs so I didn't get blood clots or anything. I felt good after my legs because my legs were all numb from the epidural and everything. It felt good. It felt like a little massage. And then so after they cleaned him and I fed him, they took me to my hospital room, and they took us to my hospital room. He was in my arms. I was holding him on the hospital bed, and my husband was following with the bassinet thing. If you've ever had a baby, you know what it is or what I'm talking about. Then after that, sorry, I thought I heard something. Then after that, I still wasn't allowed to drink any water or eat anything. All I was allowed to have was ice chips, and then about 4 o'clock in the morning, I was allowed to have water, juice, and Jello, which was awesome. After not eating anything since 6 o'clock in the morning on the 4th, I was starving, and just about anything would have worked, and at least it was kind of something in my stomach. So yeah, that was my labor and delivery story. I will insert pictures of my son and myself. Well, my son and myself and my husband at the end of these clips. Bye.